What is up, people? Sorry about being late. It's all Jay's fault. Okay, so before we do start, though, I did want to pay respects to my puppy. Some of you guys know, probably not very many people know, Sunday my dog was struck by a car and killed. So that's why I haven't been live. That's kind of why I've been in and out of chats, but not too much around. But I feel I need to just keep doing stuff as normal so I can not think about it.
Sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah, it's sucks ass real bad. What really sucks is it's just the fact that, or mainly the fact that, she was only a few months old. I think she just hit 5 months. And, a lot of people were like, train, you do this and this for train. That, trust me, me and my girl, we trained the crap out of that dog. We also, I know you guys have seen the Husky. Yeah. So we were gonna go for a third dog, and then that happened. So I think we're gonna stop for a second and let things just kind of play its course for a minute.
Gotcha.
Let's see, and then yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on, so I don't have to get all emotional. For everyone in the chat, that just so you guys know, I'm on my laptop, and that's on Wi-Fi, so no really cool backgrounds, and if it does buffer, just lower the bit rate, the little resolution, little cogwheel, just lower it down just a tad, like probably 1, and you'll be fine. Hopefully we won't have any issues though. But yeah, so I had a lot of time to sit and do a lot of thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, and oh shit, my bad guys. Yeah, put that link out there right now. Matter of fact, before I say anything, let's go up and see who's here. I will address him in a second. What's up, Vinny? What's up, Plain Truth? Yeah, no worries. What's up, Jay? Where's your homegirl? Tell her to cruise through. I like to hear her jump on the panel one of these times. Need more women on the panels. I'd say what's up to Cruising Jay, but he's already here. What's up, Blue? Who else is here? What's up, B-Ball? Yeah. Like I said, I looked at those. I want to bring them up, but I can't do it all at once. So, but I'm going to show your observations today for sure. What's up, Crash? What's up, Shawn? Shawn spelled the wrong way, but still, what's up? But yeah, here's what's up, Blue? I was saying what's up, Blue, in the chat, and I didn't even see you here.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I'm here.
Yeah. I've been there, done that too, buddy.
Yeah.
I know how it is.
One thing I had the opportunity to do is listen a lot more. So trust me, I know what's been going on. I'm not missing anything. I've been around. I just haven't been chatty. Matter of fact, the one conversation I do remember was with Blue. Who were you talking to? I think you were talking to Flat Earth Data. Nonstop talker talks
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. Blue, that would be the last person I'd ever want you to have to deal with. That was bad. And you're so nice, but you sound so mean. I didn't know if you were ever mad.
Oh, I wasn't mad. No one's ever seen me mad, Shawn.
I know. That's what fucking scares me. You sound mad just talking. Especially when you say, buddy, and I'm like, oh shit, someone's about to get hurt.
That's really not the intention. I mean, I don't mean for it to come across like that.
Well, that's the weird thing, because, like I said, I mean, you're not disrespectful to anyone. I mean, I've seen you kind of get very, very irritated, but you've never got personal. How come you don't debate more?
Actually, I guess because I suck at it.
No, you don't. That you got to remember, you're debating a false pretense. So all you got to do is you don't even have to talk much. Say 1, 2 facts, you win.
That's pretty much the truth.
I mean, realistically, I'm the biggest example of this. I get triggered very easily. The debate I had with Riley, I said nothing wrong, but I lost. Can't get mad, man. You got to keep your cool, and you do that very well, I think.
Well, yeah, I think I don't keep my cool very well.
Wow. You got kids, Blue?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm so frightened for them.
Absolutely. No, they escaped.
But I see someone in the chat saying you sound like a nice dude. You do. At the same time, you seem like you're angry. Must be like hell on earth.
Oh, I'm a nice guy. I've always been a nice guy.
You can't say that with that fucking gorilla staring at me. Because the hangout's to my left, so I see you guys in my corner of my eye. But when you were saying that, something made me look, and the gorilla was just staring at me.
Yeah.
I think gorilla fits his tone.
Oh yeah, it's actually perfect because he doesn't have to get mad. Because the second he talks, you're looking at a fucking gorilla. You don't want to piss it off.
That's the reason I picked the gorilla.
Perfect.
That's Big Blue. That's Big Blue.
No one convinced you to pick the gorilla. You just randomly picked it.
I just picked the gorilla.
It's his aura. It's his spirit animal.
It just seemed to be the right thing to do, you know.
Which I was gonna say, no, but one of the things I noticed over the past few days that I've been just sitting around watching is we need, and I say Globe, we need more that calm, cool, collective debaters in there. Dr. Bob is excellent at it. You're good at it whether you like it or not. You know what I mean?
All that screaming doesn't get you anywhere, and all that filibustering like Rumpus does, it really doesn't help anything.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Rumpus is making it worse.
He really does.
He puts himself out there to be such a authority figure, you know, and so the second he's wrong, it's a big blow up.
Yeah.
And then he just nonstop talks. So
Rumpus is a smart guy. He's a really smart guy.
He just needs a joint before he gets on.
You got to shut up and let the other guy say something.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. Once you get to like a topic and it's easy to actually debunk, and you're like just running along with it, it gets I can't, you know. That's when I start getting all like, get that twitch in my eye, and then I think they hear the twitch because then they just start ramping it up.
I think you're better off letting them talk themselves into a corner.
Well, I'm going to let you guys, everyone, know a wonderful, wonderful thing. And this goes out to anybody, but this is mainly right to Riley and anyone who talks to him. Let him know. I'm ready for that debate. Gravity's a goddamn force to me. And I'm ready to prove it, motherfucker. Oh,
Did
I'll
you
show
drop something expensive?
No.
He was on Jose's chat this morning.
I had I had 5 days of sitting in front of a computer, not talking. So everything that ran through my brain on a regular basis, I did it. No, I literally sat and created a presentation. Visual. I got probably about 5 pages of shit to say and probably about 5 good illustrations that I'm fixing and tweeting right now. What's up, Matrix? How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop that up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But let's get into the topic at hand. So,
why would they lie? Is a topic at hand, right?
Okay, yeah. Hang on. So I want to address our best friend George. He was here earlier. We get to that. What's up, Earth Seriously Fat? Thank you, sir. Globe, nope, dude. Disconnected. No, see, I can tell that you have to say that. Get your ass on here so you can fucking read it. Can't stand that guy. He says such perfect, created out of nowhere words, and then doesn't come on to say it himself. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna find that presentation. But okay, so what I want to do, or wanted to do, is I want to have that conversation about the government. And George said to me in the chat, I'll read it up verbatim. He said,
I saw that.
Have we not had enough of this already? The government will lie periodically. Okay, already? Move on. I'm sorry. To me, that sounded like what I wrote. Did you really just say they lie sometimes? Now we should move on?
Well,
You act like
but
you act like they stopped lying all of a sudden.
Let's establish what is government first.
Any entity that runs this country, whether it be from the president down to your local senator or congressman or secretary or lady that answers the phone at the fucking city hall.
Technically, the president is only president of the U.S. corporation.
corporation.
Not American national.
Yes and no, because luckily we have made sure our military was the finest. So that term, the leader of the free world, it's kind of true.
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
You realize that in the U.S. we have U.S. citizens, 14 amendments, right? And we also have American nationals, self-governed people.
No.
Well, the president has no control over these people.
Yes, he does. Here's a big thing that's a problem. You hear that they can't do anything to these people, and that is so far from it. Understand something. There's only one time that someone from another country or not a U.S. citizen cannot get legally in trouble. There's only one time. You ready? You ready?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. That's when they have you know what? I had the word in my fucking just lost it.
Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic
immunity.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Both of you guys.
You know that you could acquire diplomatic immunity?
No. It has to be given.
You can't acquire it.
You don't.
You have to expatriate.
No. You don't apply. You don't apply for it. At best,
we have to allow you to have that.
Yes, it is us going. You are safe here. And you do your business, and then you leave.
All right, guys.
No one gets diplomatic immunity to go to. Well, I mean, no one technically should be getting diplomatic immunity to go to Vegas. Though we know some princes do.
They have to, from what I understand, they got to be here on work-related issues. They can't just come and visit and claim diplomatic immunity. That doesn't work that way.
It doesn't, but they do though. I mean, you can go into like the tabloid, and it sounds stupid to say this, but you can go in the tabloids, and you do hear about these princes doing stupid shit in Vegas or Atlantic City and shit like that. I mean, it does. I mean, they abuse it. It's abused. Big time.
Oh yeah, and they like to use that shit a lot. They'll come here on diplomatic purposes to begin with, and then they go fuck all crazy and do stupid shit. And then they claim it, and then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then
isn't that exactly what our government does in other countries, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing: there are countries that if you step foot in there right now, you're not coming home.
You're a dead man.
But here's the reason that term still works. He is the leader of the free blah blah. Name a country or government that doesn't run under the same policies, or not policies, but freedom to do stuff, that we can't freely go to, and they need our aid. That's the main one right there.
Most of the countries run by the same codes, like commercial codes. So it's pretty much a whole system. They're all using the same system.
No.
Right? They're just interpreting different languages.
Okay, well, if you're talking business-wise, the U.S. dollar. I mean, and
Talking
again...
about commerce.
Now, here's the thing. That U.S. dollar that is so widely used everywhere, again, is why he is the leader of the free world.
You do realize that isn't money, right, Sean?
What? What do you mean?
The U.S. dollar isn't money. You do realize that, right?
No, it is. It's currency.
It's currency.
It is currency. It is currency and promissory notes, but it isn't money because money is only classified as gold and silver certificates.
No. You gotta. Money is a term that describes those notes you're talking about, or what used to be notes, because now they're not notes anymore. Now they're actually dollar bills. But I see what you're saying.
Privately funded corporation notes. We call them dollars. We call them
privately.
Okay.
The Fed is a government organization.
Yeah, like you're saying they don't exist, but it does exist.
But the IRS isn't.
Wait,
the IRS isn't a government.
Do you have any?
IRS is part of the government.
Private corporation.
No. Okay. Listen.
Congress.
Here's the thing. I was funded by the government. You understand that? For 14 years. That doesn't mean I was government or I have to be the government. Now, the IRS itself may not be. It may be a private entity, whatever. But the people that work for the IRS are government employees.
They are not.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
if
they
the
are.
government isn't, if the IRS isn't a government corporation, which they say so themselves.
No.
How
they
could
are
it be
a private company contracted to do the government's federal and state taxes. You do understand that. Look, you understand that you can't look. You can't look. Listen, you can't tax.
Voluntary, right?
Hang on.
Hold on a second.
Hang on. I can't set my own tax rates and pay my own tax rates or what I want to pay. Right? I can't check myself for accountability. Someone else has to. That's why the IRS is there.
No, it isn't, Sean. You're supposed to assess yourself.
Okay, so you're telling me
not the
you
IRS,
assess yourself and no one checks you. No one should check
They're not supposed to
numbers.
check you because personal income tax is voluntary.
Yeah, see, you're under these weird. You heard it on YouTube things.
What?
That is not
Not
true
weird.
at all.
Not weird. We're talking
Not
about actual
okay.
law.
Wait.
You want to talk about what everybody says is something different.
You're telling me if you're telling me if you don't pay your taxes, nothing happens.
If you're a 14th Amendment citizen and have taken all the privileges and benefits of being a 14th Amendment citizen and you refuse to pay taxes, then yes, they need to get your ass because you've been taking advantage. Let me finish. Okay. If you've been taking advantage of the system and using their system, that's the problem. If you're in their system, you have to abide by their system.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States subject to judicial blah blah blah. Someone else read this shit. Yeah.
When you can, Sean, go into what persons mean. It doesn't really mean what you think it means.
Someone else read that. Blue, you should read it. You sound all like this is how it is.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, my bad. I was like, I saw laws, and I was like, he finished. The 14th Amendment has nothing to do with being sovereign. It's a 14th Amendment means everyone born here or citizens' eyes has equal rights. That's all that says. And I get where you're coming from, because I've heard it 1,000 times too. But that's why I looked into it so much before. It's literally a dangerous situation because there are also these things, and I'm sure you've heard of this one. You can turn your Social Security or your birth certificate in and get cashed out. Bullshit.
Doesn't work quite that way, but I understand what you're saying.
Now you can get your Social Security, but I wouldn't when you're young. You should fucking probably wait. But you know what I mean? It's like there are people that are making these very lackadaisy expressions and outright BS, to tell you the truth, ideas of what you can do in the government. And again, notice something. None of them are ever government. None of them have ever worked in the government. None of them have ever even shown that this actually works. Those people that
isn't true.
No, listen, the people that get out of car tickets and shit like that, that's knowing the law. That has nothing to do with being a sovereign. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. First of all, let's understand that. Sovereign citizen just means that you don't abide by the government, but guess the fuck what? The laws still apply.
It's retarded. That word sovereign citizen is retarded. It's like conspiracy theory.
It's like chemtrails.
It's like conspiracy theory. It's retarded because a sovereign is something and a citizen is something else. Two different entities that try to link together.
Okay, well then explain it, because you said that what you were talking about and what we're talking about now in relations to the laws and taxes. You understand that there's nobody that lives in the United States who doesn't pay taxes without penalty. Well, I mean, unless
let me break it down. Let me break it down as best as I can explain it. Listen, I've been studying this and reading things, so I'm not gonna cram everything I know into 15 minutes. I'm just gonna try to break it down as best I can.
You didn't know we were gonna talk about it. I don't expect
exactly. So, all right. As far as I know, there are two birth certificates. There's your birth certificate, which is your commercial entity, right? Which is your name in all caps, and then there's the certificate of live birth, right? That's the one that represents you, not the birth certificate. The birth certificate is the entity created by the U.S. government, right? And I forgot the date. There was a day in shit that they had to make a law called HJR 192, House Joint Resolution 192, where they took everyone's gold. I don't know if you heard of that ever. They confiscated everyone's gold, and they got sued. So they had to amend that. They had to give people a way out of that.
You said right? What was it called?
XJR 192. House Joint Resolution 192.
When did this happen?
I don't remember the date that well.
No worries. Oh yeah, no worries.
Anyway, they took all the gold from the people.
XJR?
HJR 192. House Joint Resolution 192.
Oh, okay. I apologize. There it is. The redemption movement is a debt resistance movement and fraud scheme. Nope, not doing this. Too high for this one.
Listen, if you go into the laws and shit, this shit is very long and all boring. You have to really, really like it to.
Oh yeah, I like learning stuff that I didn't know before. So who's up?
HJR 192 seems to suspend the gold standard.
Yes, that means that we're no longer carrying around bags of gold in our. So they made a system for us.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, you need to remember this though. They made it so people weren't carrying around gold anymore. They were also not getting robbed constantly. That's why they made a way that everyone could have the same currency. that would equal the same value that everyone else has, with relation to what you have. And here's a way that you're not having to carry 100 pounds of gold everywhere you go. Again, this is not we're going to steal your money now. We're paying for it. Again, this is them helping, because I'm telling you right now, if everyone had 50 to 100 pounds of gold on them, one, they're going to get tired as fuck. Two, they're going to get robbed a lot. That's the way it is.
All right, that's a good analogy. But have you ever figured or thought about
it's not an analogy. Sir,
all right, who is the government for them for you to say that, oh, they did this because of that, right? Who is they? What do you consider government, and what is the power that they have that they could just decide, hey, we're gonna make this system and everybody has to oblige by it?
They don't. Here's the thing, there is some shady shit going on, but you're making it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're making it sound like the government as a whole is against the people.
They declare we're called insubordinates, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember when Hillary Clinton was talking about the deplorables? Y'all remember that comment?
I didn't hear.
Anyway, for whoever remembers, she wasn't specifically talking about black people, right? The media wants to make you think that she was talking about so-called black people, right? But she was talking about a specific group of people that they leech onto, that they literally make their living off.
Who would that be?
Right. Hey, you guys have to research this.
No.
Why is it that every rich person?
One, we're in a discussion, not at school. So I mean, if you're going to go say like that, then to me, just so you know,
it's a broader topic.
It seems like you don't know, and you need to fill in the gap with I need to go research. But that's
a broader topic.
Well, who is it though? I have nothing but time.
Look, I mean, we can argue about
you guys figure it out.
The U.S. monetary system and the global economy and how evil it is. Yeah, we get it, but it doesn't equal, flat Earth.
Can you? No, it doesn't. Can you guys explain to me what the debt is? What do you guys understand for the debt? What is it?
It's over $74 trillion, and that is basically the money loaned out between countries and or foreign aid.
Hey, Shawn.
Hmm?
Can I talk to you?
Hey, channel.
Could you like me to hang out so that the chat can't hear out there?
Yeah, hang on, give me a second.
Right, but keep it like dossiers on people.
We're back alive? We're good. We're on. We'll talk about it later. No worries.
We on the up high now.
We had we had a government meeting just now.
Secret agent.
Everyone's like, no sound. Then you didn't hear Q say, is it? But back to what we were doing. But what
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
What?
Texas. Okay.
Did I not say it right?
Well, you said
it well. Very well.
You both said it well, but I don't understand why it's just Texas said.
Taxes.
Taxes.
That's a conversation, right? We're talking about taxes.
Yes, that's. Hang on.
And Matrix was about to tell us he was leeching, but he didn't know, so he told you to research it.
I heard you say Texas.
It's just like we're all consumer slaves. Like we get it.
No,
we know about that.
Yeah, but see,
it's not a secret.
But the thing is exactly. But what I'm hearing so far is, I heard 3 stories, but 2 of those stories were YouTube. This is what we think it is, and I can see Matrix why. I mean, everything you said can be misconstrued into that 100%. And you know what? To a small scale, you're right. To a very small scale, though. Like I was saying, not all of government lies and is corrupt. It doesn't take all of them. All it takes is one guy in one department of the government to do his own thing.
Different levels of corruption.
Right. A lot of people that are studying whatever laws they have to study, figuring out whatever systems they have to figure out, they're actually doing these things. And you guys are saying that it's too hard. And no, it's not that hard.
But it's not something that just started now.
Well, when 1% of the U.S. population has more money than like pretty much the rest of us, we ain't gonna do shit.
Okay,
to change that.
How many? Just I know this is 100% spitball. How many 1%ers do you think there are? And I know your number may not be anywhere near right.
Can I answer first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I think it's well, I heard in the Democratic debate, I heard the Democrats say that there were three people in the world that had half of the wealth of they equal the wealth of the rest of the world. So those three people have half the wealth of the world.
Can I get a different definition of 1%er, please?
Yeah, it's
to tell you the truth, I don't even think anything on these people, any real thing will be online, right? Because most of these companies and this money is on trust, and trusts are private. Government can't put their noses in there, so you don't really know. They can't.
Matrix, stop. Matrix. They took a shit ton of money from my father when he passed, from his trust. Trust me, they can. Legally, they can. If you
realize,
that's the thing. Go ahead.
The United States government just tried to sue the Mongols Nation Motorcycle Club over their money, motorcycles, and their properties and copyrighted images and lost.
Now, Matrix, if you want to talk about search and seizure that they do, now that's some fucked up shit, and that is 100% corrupt. In the sense that they use corrupt, if they confiscate $500,000 from a drug bust, that department gets that. I think they get like a certain percent. It's taxed, basically, and they get the rest.
Not even that. Have you heard of what is this phrase called that they just take your shit and they just said it's
that's it right there. That's the same thing.
Excuse, no, for something forfeiture, something like that. That they just take your shit and they just say you used it to buy drugs or something, and that's it. You just use whatever they took.
What the term you just said is when you owe money and they come and get your shit. You're talking about it's search and seizure. It basically, if they find anything drugs related, anything, and it's I want to say federal. It may be.
It's federal law.
Okay, so if under federal law, anything that has to do, if you have $100,000 worth of merchandise in your home, and you got a pile of cocaine on your table, and you sell that cocaine, they feel they have every right to compensate everything they believe was purchased with drug money. On the guides that you didn't pay any taxes on that money. Now, that's kind of a okay and a fucked up thing to me. I don't really honestly know where that ethic really stands in there, but yes, it is corrupt. On that side, I think it is too. 100%.
That's on a higher level, bro. What I was trying to explain
is
on a lower level. Dude, on a lower level, I was talking about, but that's what I'm saying. You don't let me finish. I was actually talking about cops. They have a specific term for what they do. Like if they see something in your car, they could just say, "Oh, this was bought with drug money." Right?
No. They have to have drugs. They have to have drugs.
No,
they have to have proof that you're. No, they cannot. They have to have evidence. There's no one that's able to just pull a fucking
like asset forfeiture. There's a name for it. Dude, I just don't remember. I've already looked into this. You're telling me no one.
You didn't, because you're talking about tax shit right now. Every time you say a word about it, you're talking about tax
is
stuff.
Something, and the police and what the police are doing is something else.
No. Okay, so hang on. Let me get this clear. Maybe I'm not clear on it. You're saying I get pulled over by a cop. Hey, sir, your registration is expired by a month. License, registration, insurance. I hand him everything, but obviously not the registration. And he goes, "Hey, that's a laptop. that laptop was bought with cocaine. Give me that laptop. No, they cannot do that. No,
they
nor
can't
do they.
No, they cannot.
But they do that.
No. Wait, there are times there are some really shady shit that does happen, but I promise you, it doesn't happen to fucking just completely innocent people.
I disagree with that.
I don't.
It's called asset forfeiture, if I'm not mistaken.
That's when the tax. That's when tax takes your fucking house and your stuff, dude.
We're not talking specifically about tax here, bro.
But the term you keep saying is about taxes. It's what they do when you don't pay taxes.
There's a federal loophole they use to try and instigate RICO. Like, say you're riding in a pack and you get pulled over with a large amount of cash on you. They don't have to have drugs to seize your shit and hold you for 72 hours.
Oh, no, you're 100% right. But they can't keep it unless they find something. They have to have probable cause. Huh? Oh, no, I know what you're talking. You're talking because we had that problem here in San Diego or here in California. What was happening is obviously on the state level, weed has been a misdemeanor, or it was a misdemeanor, and then it went down to an infraction. I'm talking 10 years ago. But what would happen is that they would bust all the dispensaries that are out here, take all the money, and then I think of probably 100 dispensaries here in San Diego, only 20 of them got their money back. But again, that probably has to do with federal taxes, federal law. I mean, federal law says you can't do it. So, I mean, the only problem with that is the corrupt part of that is that the state officers are supposed to protect you from the federal government. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, they're supposed to, but they don't.
Yeah, well, if a federal agent comes to your home, by law, they're supposed to have a state officer there. That's kind of why we have
trust me, I know all about how that works.
I love when he says by law a lot, bro, because it's not really how things are done.
No. But they're easier to explain what's happening and why it's happening versus what's happening and what's not happening. You're saying stuff that has nothing to do with being corrupt. It's shady and it's fucked up, but tax forfeiture is when you don't pay taxes, they take your shit. Again, there is no one that doesn't pay taxes and doesn't get penalized.
Have you ever heard the phrase different tax bracket, Shawn?
Yes.
What do you think that means?
That is not.
Yeah, we know about that.
That has nothing to do with what you were talking about a minute ago. So if you're changing the subject, fine. But why shouldn't there be different tax brackets? Okay.
Well, bro, why should there? Is a question for whoever.
If you made business. If you made $1 million, should you be taxed the same way someone making minimum wages? Because you do understand they take a shit ton more from those people, right? Not less, more.
Yeah, okay.
Wait.
They do.
Okay. Matrix, I'm going to tell you right now. Just so everything's out in the open and you understand that I understand what I'm talking about when it comes to IRS and taxes. I ran a company with my father for 14 years. My father passed. He owed $750,000. There is nothing you can do to stop the government from seizing everything until they feel happy with what they have. When it comes to the trust, when it comes to a will, the only thing they can't touch is objects. Anything in a bank, it has to be offshore basically for it not to be touched. Literally.
Objects are called liquid assets.
And just so you understand something, you have to wait years to go get that shit because they're watching.
Nah, bro, I don't think you have an understanding of the system as much as you think, bro.
Hang on. I'm gonna mute I'm muting the hang on again. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to say something I didn't want to say out loud. But
what kind of trust was it?
You mean?
What kind of trust was it?
Paying to trust. Basically, I work. I pay. It pays half of my yearly income. There's not like you're asking. Like it doesn't matter the specifics of the name of the trust. It's a trust. There's a trust. There's will. Those are different. Trust is something you pay into. A will is something so everyone knows where your stuff goes. And trust me, that ain't a good thing because sometimes you get willed a lot of crap.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have a different understanding of trust and stuff, so they're not all the same.
Nope,
you know what I'm saying? Your father could have had maybe a flawed
like
trust.
I said,
or maybe a not well written trust.
No,
you know,
no. See, that's again.
Wills
are miswritten, are written not properly or not specific enough. Trust is like life insurance, but for when like trust is a way for that money to go to a specific group or person or yada yada yada. Understand? You can say anything you want in a will, but there's time that go by that then stuff stops going void. But no matter what, if the deceased owes, they're not going to just walk away.
No,
they don't do that. They just don't. That's just the way it works.
That's what I'm worried about with my mom. She owes a certain amount to the IRS.
Cool.
And
yeah.
If when she dies, they'll just go to the the next one down the line, and that's going to be me.
That's part of her estate.
Yes.
They can't transfer it to you, but they can definitely take all of the estate.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, something along those lines. I forgot what it was.
Yeah. You can't inherit someone else's debts.
No,
that's not allowed. That's not allowed.
And that's also why when they pass, you have to have death certificates to change things into your name because it has to go through that process where they get to see it. I can't believe it's been a couple of years now, but what's it called? Someone passes. There's a period where
probation laws or something like that.
You're close because that's what I wanted. It's starts with a P. It's the time that the government basically gets to dot the P's and Q's and make sure they didn't owe and that you're not going to just walk away with their stuff. Or that no one else is probate. Thank you, Hannah. Probate. That was a year. It took a year and a half for my father's probate to end. And that was end with them telling us here's what's going to happen. But what is it? The bank they came and offered money on his house. I think 3 days after he passed. It was fucking sickening.
Wow.
Yeah, they're lucky. Put it this way, they're lucky they sent a lady because I was gonna put my fist through one of those bankers' heads. Oh, it's fucking
you, man. That's pretty jacked up. They didn't even give you a couple weeks.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. When months before he was planning to leave the house. He didn't want to even be up there anymore. So it was one of those things where he had already talked to the bank. That's how the bank knew if you offer, it'll get taken care of and they'll get the house back. But what they wanted to do is they wanted to pay less than was still owed on it, which they did. But I don't care. I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't want to live in a house that big. It's ridiculous. Too far. But I mean, shit. In the past 10 years, like I was telling me, like I've gone through everything he keeps trying to talk about. Like, and I get it, man. The government, there's some shady fuckers, and a lot of shit is unfair. But you're coming with like the same thing I'm saying just now, but you're like taking it overboard, and that's issue with conspiracies. Chemtrails is the biggest one for me. They are spraying chemicals in the sky. I can't call them chemtrails because chemtrails are a fucking joke. You know what I mean?
What was it that you found out about that? What is it that they're spraying exactly?
Well, as into right now, Oh yeah, they are. No, they do. They spray a fucking lot. Here's the thing. So NASA does a lot of spraying to test to be able, like all those the satellite imaging that we get of the aerosol, the CO2s, all those things in the air.
Oh, you're talking about that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. Listen, we'll check this out. You know how you go to the doctor and when you take a X-ray or whatever that, I think it's not an X-ray, a CAT scan, MRI. No, CAT scan. It's CAT scan. Wait, one of those two. But you drink that charcoal.
CAT scan.
Yes. When you drink that charcoal, it's so they can see inside you when they look at that machine. Well, guess what? Satellites need the same damn thing. So they spray they spray aerosols in the sky very high up. This is
so they can see humans?
No, so they can see CO2, so they can see the aerosol, the particle, the size of the particles and how things are reacting. All those things. They do spray.
They need something in the air and atmosphere to be able to track the movement of the air. Okay.
Yes. As far as I know, as far as I know, and this is the only chemical I will 100% put myself of saying, and nothing else. No other, like there are definitely other chemicals being sprayed, but this is the one I have. Shit, they are going to geoengineer. They talk about it now, so this is the one thing I know they are doing, and that's the aerosol sulfates, which is basically any kind of sulfate you can think of, which is not gonna fly. First of all, go ahead.
Which sulfates, like calcium sulfate?
Yes.
Sodium sulfate.
I'm gonna get it right now because
same stuff that comes out of paper mills.
I know that's one of them, but there's another.
Same stuff that comes out of cement mills. Yeah,
I think so.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Calcium sulfate, sodium sulfate.
It's an ozone issue, right? Is it
no, not really. It's just particulate. That's all.
Okay. Well, in the fact that if it's too heavy, and it's too much, it's not going to be safe, though, right?
Well,
I'm trying to find
not as safe as breathing clean air. That's for sure.
Well, the issue is because I do a lot of talking about Scope X. That's the ones that are going to do the aerosol sulfates.
Yep.
They term it as that, so it's really hard to find the actual document saying this is what we're spraying. So I'm trying to find some. I know I have something, but it's like inside a publication from Royal Society, and it's those things are so long. Hang on one sec. No, but so for instance, the chemical I know that they would be using. The problem with one of the issues alongside of all the other ones is the fact that because they're going to be spraying in the stratosphere, which is above the ozone layer, it will be part of the same situation that the Montreal Protocol stopped. I hope I got that one right. Yeah, the Montreal Protocol. So that's part of that issue that I know about, why I knew about the ozone layer and all that crap and big hole that was in it. They fixed that shit, right? It's like all good now, right?
Yeah, I think it fixed itself. But
that's what I meant. I just said, did they fix it, didn't I? My bad.
They quit killing it, so it fixed itself.
Oh, I shouldn't do that here. That's Flat Earth Dome talk. Jeez, that was close. Good thing there's no real flat earthers here. Just kidding, Matrix.
Hi, Lewis.
What up, Lewis?
Oh, hello, Lewis. I'm not a flat earther, by the way.
What are you,
Shawn?
Truther?
I'm an anti-glober, bro.
You're Globe Denier.
I'm a flat earth denier.
You should just say Globe Denier because it sounds more
Globe Denier,
less.
Bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
it sounds
I
less.
I really hate the word flat earth, bro. I don't
Shawn,
like it.
Shawn,
Yeah.
I'm a flat earth denier myself.
No, you're right, Matrix, because now flat Earth are chemtrails.
Look at Lewis is doing a rumpus impression.
Hold on.
So is
what's going on?
You're wearing a red shirt and you're holding a glass.
Yeah, hey.
You utter moron.
Hey, Lewis, you gotta do me a favor. See what Carlos's picture?
Aha. I
Do
see.
that.
Okay.
Do that. You gotta do that right
Get some
now.
sunglasses. Get some
Okay.
sunglasses.
All right.
Oh shoot! Nah, ready for the screen cap. You got to look the other way.
Yeah, other way.
The other way?
Yeah, yep.
The other way.
Now hold it up like you just finished drinking it and you're saying, damn, that was good. Fuck everyone.
Yeah, hold the glass up.
Right there.
You go.
Don't move.
Very good.
Close to your chin, right under your chin.
Okay, screenshot.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Lewis,
Hey,
you've been immortalized.
No, hey, Lewis, I'm going to send you that. You have to change your avatar. You have to do
Okay.
it. You have to.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think everyone should do that for the month of July.
No, it's an Independence Day. Yeah.
It's no, fuck Independence Day. It's Rumpus Day.
Are you kidding me?
Just ask him for his birth month and just.
He's
do it
not
for
even
his
from
month.
America.
I don't.
You want
That's
to
why
see
we
a
can
fucking?
make.
You want to see a fucking monkey in a red polo?
Yes. Dude.
All right, I'm in. Okay.
That's
I
right.
dropped the picture in the chat.
Okay, how about this? This is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be stupid risky. How many people? How would I do this? Okay. You know how I did the hashtag we can do this?
Yeah.
Now it's hashtag we can rumpus this.
We can rump it.
Everyone, send me your best rumpus pictures. Not pictures of fucking rumpus. And
What do you
it doesn't
think? How they did?
Beautiful.
Carlos,
Perfect.
check out my rocket thing from space.
Hang on.
Give me some critiques.
Hang on, Bob.
I'm presenting you right now, Matrix.
Hang on, I'm trying
That'd
to
be
get to
so
the chat.
awesome. If-
Let's see. Okay, so that light in the background that has no effect on the surface of the Earth or the rocket engine itself. But other than that, I mean, how is the Earth out of focus and then the stars are sharp and then the
It's not a
exhaust
star,
thing is?
it's a satellite.
Oh, okay,
It's
but
shining
why
light to the Earth?
But why are they on focus and the Earth is out of focus?
Because technically the satellite is closer than the Earth.
Oh my gosh! Come on, man! Really?
Sorry, Matrix. Didn't work this time. Let me say this real quick. Okay, everyone. I'm about to put a link in the chat. That link is the invite to that whole YouTube Messenger crap. Send me your best rumpus there, or to my email, truthfrontline@outlook, or outlook.com.
But I just sent you my picture already.
No, Lewis and Carlos, you guys got it. You're good. You don't even have to send it your best one. If you come on this panel and you rumpus it, oh, it'll be so beautiful. But here's the kicker now, because everyone on this panel is too easy for you guys. But the people in the chat, the best fucking rumpus gets something. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be yet, but it's gonna be again? It's gonna be my first fucking giveaway, yo. My first one right now. Best rumpus.
Once I retry.
I want to do it again.
You study the perspective and everything now. You're gonna get it right. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot exactly what Rumpus's profile picture was, but I've remembered, and now I think I can do it better.
Hold on.
I think you just want to drink, yo.
Yeah.
I think you're.
I don't need.
Wait, does everyone have the rumpus soundboard yet? I mean, everyone should have it by now.
Hang on. Hold on.
There is a rumpus soundboard out there. I have it.
I love it.
We live stream?
Yeah.
I'm searching for his picture now. I think I can.
Look at Carlos's.
Well, mine is a little more oblate.
If you wouldn't have done that until after I just said that, you would have won. Just so you know.
I don't see what's wrong with it.
With who?
Nothing.
What's wrong with this, Lewis? Nothing.
Oh no, he's just a
It
perfectionist.
has to do with the way he's holding it.
No,
Yeah.
It's not working now.
Gotta have the
No, that's how Rumpus holds it. Though.
I know, but one channel has right now. That's it, dude. Don't fuck it up.
But that camera angle on this guy's a little lower though.
I mean, you could. No, you can't win. I know you too well. You have to. Wait, you already did. You're fucked. Yeah.
It'll be all right. It doesn't matter what. Like, I can change my camera angle. What do you think this is?
It's okay. I actually have a red polo anyway, so.
You're trying too hard, Lewis.
I know.
Do it, man.
It's fine.
Glasses on, turn to the left.
I mean, it's cool though. I mean, it's you're Lewis. I knew it's normal, but
you already got the part.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Okay, good. Turn to your left.
Confirmation
needed. Hold on. I need to get.
You utter.
Actually, you guys don't have the Rumpus soundboard.
Okay.
Hey, you gotta take your earbuds off though.
Oh, you're right.
No, you need to go outside and do it. There's something about the sun in the daytime.
I need to find a nice hedge of bushes.
I don't have a hedge.
Yeah, I mean, you're outside.
Like a lamp or something, like a lamp.
No problem. We'll put the hedge in post production. Go ahead.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
I am wearing the hedge on my chin.
In usual Glober fashion, we'll just CGI the bitch. Go ahead, bro.
You gotta look up just a little bit.
Turn a little bit more.
You have to have a smirk.
You got to turn more, man. You're not turned enough. He
can't hear you.
Good.
I'm not sure.
I love that he took those earbuds out. So he's gonna have to do it again.
They wanted to instruct you, but you couldn't hear them.
You weren't turned enough. You were looking at us too much.
They didn't like it, and you couldn't hear them tell you to turn.
You didn't like it.
So you gotta do it again. You need to stay right. Turn more. More.
Look up a little bit.
Turn about 8 inches. Yeah, but
perfect.
Yeah, now do that. You gotta look at Carlos's picture. You gotta be at an angle, man. You can't be just looking at us.
You gotta be looking up a little bit too.
Yeah, look through hey, are you looking at a wall right now?
Yeah.
Look through that wall.
All right, hang on.
There it is.
I like the one I got.
I like yours better too.
He's holding that glass kind of gay though.
That's just Lewis.
Look this is totally wrong.
Yeah. Just tell him it was good. Tell him it was good. That was perfect. Don't get no better than that, Lewis.
All right. Hopefully, you're not just saying that because you know I'll try again.
I would never.
We're still gonna use the first picture anyway.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Here, I'll show it to you, Lewis. This is what it looks like now.
Next time we're gonna replicate big blue.
You just used the same one.
And the earbuds works. That's the beard. Because now he has to be part of Carlos too.
All right. That's all right. Sorry. I just went too far.
Yeah, no, Lewis, stop. Because now you're gonna ruin the fun. Again, people, I put my email in the chat. I want the best fucking rumpuses. Winner gets something. I don't know what it is yet.
Well, this is perfect.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be able to out-rumpus me anyway, so, you know.
And Rumpus join?
And we got a twofer. We got Rumpus and we got Stevie Wonder.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee.
That is a nice shit. That is a nice shade of lipstick you look like you had on in that first one, though.
Ooh.
You been drinking wine or something?
What, me?
Yeah, like red wine, something red.
What, you think I wear wet lipstick?
No, I don't think you... Dude, okay. Never mind. Lewis, drop it. Never mind. I keep forgetting. I can't talk to you like that. You take it all in so deep, and you're like, oh, now I gotta... He's gonna leave, and he's gonna go put Brillo pads on his lips, thinking he's gonna get it to come off, and it's just gonna turn more red, and then, oh, hell break loose.
Check out my 4K TVs.
What?
Sweet.
Yeah. 4 TVs.
4K TVs. Especially that one up here.
Those are satellite TVs?
No.
You know what I just downloaded that I didn't even know. I knew they existed. I didn't know they could exist for me to have a satellite finder for dishes and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was pointing. Yeah. Which one do I have? I don't even know where my phone is. But basically, it's like it's just like the ISS tracker, but for every satellite in the sky. Or satellite to dish. I guess. Yep. Pretty badass.
Tracks all those fucking balloons.
So I got an R2D4 for you there.
What is it that you fix TVs, Carlos?
No, this is just cool, man. People were throwing them away. I said, I gotta have them.
Shit.
Sean, elaborate.
No, hang on. Wait. First of all,
it means you don't have a nice British accent.
First of all, my OBS crashed for a second, so you didn't hear me talking for like 30 seconds, or did you? I'm not sure if you heard me.
No, I could hear you. Anyway,
okay, but no, for real. Every time I'd ever seen you, you were the dude with the beard, 60 feet up in the fucking sky. Every time.
Yeah.
And then but over the past month, you've just been just fucking making people look stupid. It's wonderful. Wonderful thing.
Just dropping some knowledge, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know you had it in you, buddy.
Well, here. I mean, I kind of tinker a little bit. I mean.
What are those? Oh,
they're satellites, dude. He's building satellites.
No, that's I stopped you. That's just electronics.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So the whole idea that because I had a nice little chat with Ranty the other day in Jose's chat, and he said that all satellites are actually stratospheric balloons or strataloons, which is true. They do exist. They are. It looked weird at first. They do exist. They are out there, but nowhere near enough to cover the area of which GPS and other signals are. It's just impossible. And also,
but once again,
those things are fucking insanely. The balloon part is large, very large. Why don't we see pictures of these things on the ISS, for instance? Because the balloon that it would take to keep an object the size of a football field up there for that long, Jesus Christ! And again, they can say, "Well, the camera's cut off." Well, no. The tracker is on time, every time, all the time.
Every time. And
they don't get a refill time.
If you're gonna put equipment up there, we're talking about tons of equipment, right? A few tons or whatever. Dude, that huge balloon or bladder whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be humongous, and then it's gonna reflect light right before sunrise and right after sunset.
Yeah, you'll see.
And I mean, you would see them.
But
so
here's a bigger point to that. Here's the problem. If you track, say you live in a valley and you're able to use mountain to mountain, and you know the distance, and you track the time it takes the ISS to get from point A to point B, basically, it is impossible for a balloon or anything on Earth to cover that ground in that time. That's what they're not understanding.
That's the thing. Look, Matrix has asked me, can they emulate satellites, geosynchronous satellites like for TV and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And on a small footprint of a few hundred feet, it would be. But even then, you will notice how you have to change the orientation of your satellite dish every time you move a few feet. Like a 50 feet or 100 feet. It would just, we're talking about just a few thousand feet up, and if you're right under that balloon, you're gonna be looking straight up, right? And then once you move, let's say 500, feet, then you start changing the angle more and more. Now, here's the thing. Somebody was asking, how come you never see, you only see satellites pointing south in the United States? Because the satellites are orbiting around the equator.
That's right.
They will all be pointing south. I mean, that's the reason why. And you find me a satellite dish just looking up 90 degrees up in the United States, or looking north in the northern hemisphere, and vice versa. Go to the southern hemisphere, you'll never see a satellite dish pointing south. So, anyway,
those satellites are all in equatorial orbits.
This geosynchronous, yeah. Now, and as far as the low Earth orbit ones, dude, those jokers are flying, and that's why another thing I point out. Look into Doppler shift, and that would be impossible to fake with a drone or a balloon. A balloon can move that fast. I mean, You know, and if they were faking the Doppler, if they were changing the frequency to make it look like it's approaching you and then going over you and going away from you, well, here's the thing: you actually have to point your antennas like let's say Yagi antenna. You actually have to point it at the direction of the satellite, and you have to follow it. So you actually are pointing at something, and the speed you're moving that is matching the Doppler shift. Anyway, just look into it. You know, it's just from the surface, anybody can say, "Oh yeah, balloons solves the whole satellite thing," and they move on. And I'm going, it's more complicated than that.
Oh yeah. Well, imagine this. But
much more complicated, Carlos.
Oh yeah. But
what you're doing is talking to laymen who want to sit and imagine they understand what's really happening and what engineers really do for a living. And that's really not what we do. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than the average person understands.
You really engineer, Blue?
And here, one of the things that I wanted
to say. Are you an engineer?
Yes, I am, Matrix. I was. I'm retired now, but yes, I was.
Once an engineer, always an engineer.
Profession or hobby? Profession or hobby?
If you're lucky enough,
professional.
I had a professional hobby.
That was my profession, Matrix.
I'm an engineer.
What I did for a living.
He's not talking about a train engineer, dude. He's talking about like.
People paid me to do that. For the better part of 50 years, people paid me money to do that. Yes.
I'm in construction, and I feel like I play in a sandbox all day long. Though it is very professional, but if you're lucky, like I am, you get to go to work every day happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, saying a professional hobby isn't a bad thing either.
Carlos, you consider yourself to be engineerish?
He's an engineer, dude. Yeah. He's not a train engineer. He's an engineer.
I engineered the lunar rover.
Guys, when they have to figure shit out and things have to be designed and made, they're talking to him. They're not asking him to run a train, dude.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an engineer.
Yeah, because I can see. Is that like your hobby room? That's like your man cave?
Yeah, you can call it that. Yeah,
I kind of see all the tools and stuff, right? I kind of have the same tools and stuff, so I figure you're engineerish because I have pretty much all those same tools.
Wait. There's a difference between someone who knows how to fix things in mechanic,
and
an engineer.
On the end of word.
There's professionals that study, and they're just people that like making shit. Simple.
Do you mind if I, Matrix? Do you mind if I ask you what you do for a living?
I'm a motorcycle mechanic.
Okay. Are you good?
I literally build bikes for.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So you're a Lego engineer. Like, do you see what's happening? Like, can I go do what you do then? Can it be just as easy?
Man, I don't know. I don't know your capabilities, bro. I don't know your capabilities.
Exactly. You just said.
Well, can I tell you my capabilities?
Hang on. You just said that Carlos and Blue were no better of a engineer than you could be because you have the same tools. I have the same tools.
Dude, I never said that. Where the hell are you getting that from?
He didn't claim that, Shawn. He didn't really say that.
That wasn't what I was talking about, bro. What are you talking
about? Hey, my bad. That's what I thought I heard. I apologize.
What I did was I recognized Carlos' background. I recognized him and the pad that he has, which I have one as well, right? And I realized that this man is handy. Because I am handy, so I realized that he is handy.
Yeah,
Simple. I just recognize a trait in him.
No,
that's all.
My bad.
Right? Maybe he's not a professional engineer. Maybe he's not a professional
Yeah,
engineer, but I'm pretty sure he can make some shit because I can make some shit.
Yeah, see, what I did, Matrix, is I thought you were saying because he has the same stuff, then I took it wrong. My bad. I apologize on that.
I'm in a monolithic flat earth, dang it.
There you go.
So did Dean, and he got shit on. Man, Pete pissed him the fuck off. Oh, and that's the other thing I want to talk about.
Yo, how much water can that dome keep out?
Look, I'm a Jew. I'm a flat earth Jew. Okay.
Yo, we gotta talk, bro. I'm trying to build a drone. You heard?
Hang on, guys. Hang on. No. Hang on, because I have to address this, and I'm pissed I didn't at the very beginning. So, if anybody has a problem with Sasha being on my panel and or debating, get the fuck out of here and unsub me. No one's teaching him anything here. He's fucking smart as shit. And no one is subjecting him to things that he shouldn't be. I police my panel.
Except for Peachy.
That's what I'm addressing. I police this panel how it needs to be policed when he is here. I make it clear he's here, and I make it very clear to everyone it needs to be adjusted while he is. Pete Shea, you are a fucking moron. You make yourself look even dumber with all that shit you said in my chat.
Oh, I missed
Don't bother me when it comes to, if it has anything to do with that kid, go away. He made you look stupid, and now all you're doing is making yourself look stupid. Just so you know, Sasha is like, he's a 15-year-old boy, came on here. He's one of those genius kids from Discord. Came on here and fucking made Pete look dumb as shit.
All right. That he did.
And then,
he did a damn good job of it too.
The next time, Jose, I forget who else it was. They kind of went, had a good discussion, and he's able to hold his own. But when he's here, I tell everyone, hey, he's underage. He's here. None of that, all that other shit. I make sure people know who's here because, he is underage. But he's smart as shit, so I'm not taking anything away from him. And Pete sat there and I think at least 8 messages saying how because he was a kid, he should not be in this discussion. I went,
yeah, that goes against everything Pete said in the past. That's why he claims that he was open with his son.
Yep.
About things like 9/11 and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's what he said in the comments. But he said his son handled it wrong, so that I guess therefore all young people handle it wrong. Because I told him, you're acting more immature than that kid will ever. Just because you're acting the way you are, and it's because he got outwitted. It's funny.
They have some amazing defense mechanisms.
Mm-hmm. Now, sure. Matrix, you said you were building it. I do apologize. I had to get that out. You were saying you were planning on building a drone. You were going to start asking Carlos some questions. I do apologize, but I had to.
Yeah, what you got, Matrix?
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm trying to.
I'm gonna need you guys to repeat that.
I was just saying you said you wanted to build a drone. And you wanted to ask Carlos, and then I cut you off.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm looking into building a drone, man.
What kind of drone and for what? What do you need it for?
For photography, bro.
So you want to take video or photos?
What was that?
Or both. You want to take video, photos, or both?
Both.
Do you want to put your own camera, or you want to just?
I would like to build something with like an Arduino, with like a Raspberry Pi kind of setup thing.
I think you would be better off if you purchase a dedicated. No, if you want to. Oh, this one is. That's not what I was trying to show you, but yeah, this is actually the one that I'm working on right now.
Isn't that a DJI 4 or something like that?
No, this is the 3 that somebody crashed, but I actually repaired it. They didn't want to pay for the repairs, so I resoldered some of the stuff. But what I'm actually trying to do is instead of using the stock camera and lens, I'm actually trying to put a adjustable lens so I can actually have zoom and film the sunsets and stuff. Nice. So I'm gonna put the lens. Cool, yeah. That's what I'm working on. But it's the frame is broken, so I'm waiting on the shipping from a new frame that's gonna be it's gonna look just like the Mavic but a little bit bigger. It's gonna be foldable, and I need 2 more motors. And so I'm gonna change it to this little lens here, and you can actually zoom.
Don't mean to interrupt here, Shawn. You're being spammed like crazy in the chat.
Oh shit! I'm not even there. My bad, guys.
But no, what I was trying to say, Matrix. What I was trying to say is you need to purchase a flight controller. Instead of Arduino, there's some flight controllers that are dedicated. I'm trying to find one here. So you don't want to get an Arduino and program it, because you basically starting from scratch. But if you buy, a flight controller, it's not going to give you what you want. I'm trying to find some flight controller so I can show you an example of one, but Got a mess in here. That's organized mess, but anyway. Or you can go with DJI.
You got a,
how much?
Got a pretty neat setup, bro.
What's your budget?
Not like 500.
Man, if you're gonna spend 500, you might as well buy a DJI Phantom 3S or a used Phantom.
You know what it is though?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't really like just buying shit, right? I have to build it.
God damn it. Come back. I just lost the hang on.
I'm not really gonna know what's going on with the. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to repair it if something is going wrong.
Well, yeah. The good thing is if you build one, it's gonna be modular. But the platform of the DJI products is so freaking reliable, dude. You know, it's already fine-tuned. You know, of course, you've seen the remotes. I'm actually working on a. Let's see. This remote. I'm actually gonna gut it out and put it inside a Pelican case, and I'm gonna put a built-in tablet. So it's just gonna be a self-contained unit. And you can just
nice.
Yeah, so I'm not. That way you don't have to hold that remote in your hand. So basically, you open up the what's it called, the Pelican case, and then the big part is going to be basically like the sunshade for the screen, and the bottom part is going to have an attachment for a tripod. So you set up your tripod, clip it on, and then the lid is going to be where the remote is. So,
did you study this, Carlos, by any chance, or this is just like a hobby?
This is just hobby, man, and. I mean, all my life I've been into videos and remote control stuff.
This is what I mean, guys. Changing the topic a little bit. This is what I mean about NASA not being able to replicate technology. Right? You have geniuses like this, like Carlos, all over the place, and all of a sudden they can't replicate technology. You know what I'm saying?
That's just not right. Don't say NASA can't replicate technology. That's not right.
Yeah, I think. Hey, Matrix. Let me ask you something. Are you referring to like a quote by Don Pettit saying that the technology we had to go to the moon was destroyed?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing with the statement. Has the technology that we used to go to the moon been destroyed as far as the facilities and communication? Electronics and rockets, has it? They have, and that's what he's referring to. So the problem now is that technology is a little bit different. Now we don't have analog stuff; we have digital stuff, and we're trying to make sure that radiation affects that a little bit different with analog stuff. And they're studying, they're researching, they're building the platforms to be able to do that again. So yeah, at this moment we cannot go to the moon as of right now because we don't have what we used to have. So it is a painful process to build it. So that's what he was referring to.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If you guys went to the moon once, why change the technology?
Do you still want it?
No.
No, I'm asking them to literally make an entire analog clock from scratch. Simple.
Well,
if it worked back then. Not necessarily.
Well, then build me a brand new shovel head, okay? A brand new one. No, better than that.
Here we go.
Build me a brand new knuckle
People
head.
are saying they can't hear you. I don't know why.
Oh, I know.
Hey, Matrix, this is what I was talking about.
Fixed.
This is the flight controller here. And to this, you will connect a radio receiver, which connects this right here, which connects to your remote. And then it sends all the information, and then over here, this you'll hook up to the computer, program it to how to react to the signals from the remote, and then you can put auxiliary data inputs like GPS and other sensors. And so yeah, this has a gyro, so it knows the orientation, and then the GPS tells it the location. It has a built-in barometer, so it knows the elevation, like when you take off from the ground.
Yeah, I just got a new drone, and it has that too.
Yeah, so that's what you need to get. You need to get a flight controller, and then that can handle GPS. And then of course you got your motors. So you gotta find good motors to be able to handle whatever the weight of the drone is gonna be. Each motor is gonna need what's called a speed controller that connects to the flight controller, and you need a video transmitter like this. So you put a video input in here, and then there's an antenna, and it outputs the video, and then you have a video receiver like this one.
Period. That's fucked up.
What? Get the fuck out of here, dude! I can't believe you're here. Okay.
This over here, you would actually program to turn your camera, like the tilt up and down, or left or right.
That's
different
what I've
flight
got
modes.
My setup has the same thing with the GoPro. It's a home built gimbal that I put on it, but it has there's a DX with the control knob on the top.
Oh, using a DX controller, that's pretty neat. So yeah, I got some all kind of most of this stuff came from my friend, because he started buying all kinds of stuff when he got into the hobby and building a bunch, and so he would give me spare parts and stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, look at these cameras. See, this is just a regular FPV camera. The wide
That's what I
angle
was
lens.
talking about. Those kind of setups.
So this right here, this is more for flying and for racing, because it has a big wide angle lens and it's really fast. But what you want is the habitary video camera, or one that does both video and save it into a SD card and also transmit it. The problem with that is that as soon as you start getting like more than 720p, then the image actually is very slow latency, so it's really hard to maneuver for racing anyway. But in freestyle,
have you thought about using old tablets or cell phones, laptops for your cameras?
The problem with that is that you would have to actually mess with the software and create a circuit to be able to connect to those proprietary cameras that are for the phone, and then you have to convert that into a analog video signal to be able to transmit it. So what you're doing is what you're doing is you're throwing in delay, latency, and you don't want that when you're flying through branches and going through chairs and little playgrounds at the park.
Okay.
So that's what a lot of guys do. They just freestyle with the drones.
I see.
So
it's too hard to do.
Yeah, so you basically what you want is very little latency. You want a high dynamic range, so you can see even if the sun is out and you're looking at a dark place. So you want to be able that camera to adjust real quick when it changes on light.
Can you change those cameras out? Like, for instance, I just got a drone. It's not my first, but it is my first. It can actually do something.
It's
drone.
It's a modular.
Yeah. It's
it's not even
it's a freaking little folder runs.
Does it look like this one?
Bigger, a little bit bigger, but yeah, not all colorful like that, man. What's wrong with you?
Look, this is.
You get bored.
This is the first one I had. It had a big old shell around it. I took it off. I did this little Easter egg.
I'll be right back.
And I painted it black and I put a little antenna.
See, that's what I think all drones should look like. No, seriously. I mean, everything else really is just bullshit, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Like, as in, Oh yeah, none of those are those. What you're talking about, Lewis? Those are the big boys. No, well, but you got to remember that those little drones that Carlos has paved the way for those bigger drones that do those shots. Because I used to do downhill mountain bike racing, right? And so a buddy of mine, this drone, I think it had to cost him about $3,500. But this thing was probably about the size. It was about 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. It was a big boy. Oh shit. Yeah. How many times do you have to change that out? Why don't you just get like a titanium or something? Why don't you just get But why don't you just get what do you call it, like a titanium gears or something? Is it just?
Oh no, that's just like the cheap brush motors. It's got torque, but it's But
okay.
These are brushless. See, this is brushless.
Yeah.
So the wire right there, they're just fixed, and all you have is magnets around this, and then you put the propeller here.
Yeah.
So you have very little friction.
Yeah,
it doesn't wear out.
I never did the drone thing, but I did like RC trucks. Like I used to do the 1/8 scale rock crawling RCs.
So brush motors equals torque, but less efficiency. Brushless, a little bit less torque, but more efficiency.
Yes.
So
yeah, brushless. Everyone wants brushless, but then you gotta get all the gears you can find.
So on a racing motor, you would want brushed motors,
brushless.
Right? Racing for what? For a truck?
No, for like the drone, like for doing tricks and stuff. You'd want all the torque, right?
No, not really. Because what you do is you get motors with bigger winding, a thicker gauge on the windings, and then you put like propellers are very aggressive. Like these propellers are very normal, but the pitch of the propeller will be a lot more pronounced.
Okay.
So they will actually push a lot more air. So this was my first build, my first drone, which I took it apart for getting parts out of it. But this is the first one I ever built. And it's got a very simple motor.
So by having thicker gauge in the motors, you get more torque that way, and by having a more aggressive angle of attack, you can accelerate quicker.
Yeah, remember, it's not a car.
So you want better wire on the motors and magnets. Then you want also a speed controller that can do more amps. So like a 35 amp, 40 amp. And then, of course, you want a battery, a 4S or 5 cell battery.
What he's saying, Lewis, is upgrade your differential on your car, high octane gas, and MDI spark plug and ignition.
Okay.
But you got to remember, with a car, you want torque because it's grabbing the road. But a drone, once it's going, there's nothing. It doesn't need the torque to pull. It needs the horsepower, in a sense.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, if you want to do like tricks and stuff and change directions quickly, like that's all acceleration. So
what's going to help you? That's going to be the motors and being just a little beefier, and also the speed controllers. Yeah, I gotta fire this one up for you guys.
I'm trying to upload because the drone I got it last night. So I flew it today for the first time. And I'll put the video up in a minute, but I gotta find it first. But yeah, it ended up exactly like I thought it would.
Wow, Carlos is gonna fire this drone up. All right.
Have you ever seen a drone?
I haven't seen very many drones, man.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm
you guys
poor,
just start
man.
talking about this shit to get me to join back in here.
Yep. That was the idea.
Remember, I told you I just got that, right, Crash? Wait until you see this video, because it.
Yeah.
Wait till you see where it ended up. Because put it this way, I've had drones, but this is my first drone with a camera and the whole smartphone shit, which is a bad idea for beginners. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yes, it
You
is.
fucked up, didn't you, Shawn?
I did, but I didn't fuck up enough that it ruined it. Put it this way, it could have been a very, very bad day. You'll see in a second. I don't want to give it away.
Carlos, you still playing with them little 30,
Carlos.
40 amp ESCs? I just put a 380 amp ESC in my truck.
The problem, Carlos, is that I'm running very, very low bandwidth on the Hangout, so no one's seeing that like you want them to. Yeah, I have to. I mean, we can see it.
I still can smoke RC. I still can smoke Crash on the race though.
That's like sounds like a challenge /
I'm going to
fuck up.
dust your ass when I get down there, Carlos.
And he means crop dust.
Bring it, old man.
Yeah, so
I gotta set this up so I can show Lewis. Hang on.
I told you we need to set some rules, or I'm going to show up with some crazy 6-cell monstrosity of a drone.
Do it.
4-cell, 35 EMC.
What do you want for it?
What?
Okay.
Oh, that'll be easy to beat you guys.
Hang on.
Yep, that's about how mine went, but I was smart enough to be outside. Kind of.
Whoa, there it is.
Yeah, I'll turn bandwidth up for a second.
It's a rat drone.
Dang it. Hang on.
Hey, Carlos, why don't we just make it fair and we can bring Shawn down and run 1-cell WAPs?
How about we make it fair and I sit in a hill somewhere with a BB gun? Let's have some fun.
Wow.
And I didn't know this until about a week ago. I didn't know it about a week ago that they have dog fights with these things. And if like there are
running into shit, man. I mean, it's really cool, but you keep running into things.
I bet you money.
It's a really small room.
Hey,
yeah.
Lewis is gonna have a drone tomorrow. I guarantee it.
I don't think I could do any better. I'm just.
Oh no, I think you're gonna get a drone because you think it's fun.
Here, Lewis, you worried about hitting stuff? Check this out. You see this frame?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I mean, literally, it will not break.
What's it made out of?
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
Okay.
I see it.
So anyway.
Yeah, so I got my first drone, and I had the cell phone camera thing. I learned that that's not cool. I come from the age where you have to actually throttle up and keep it at a certain point if you don't want to, if you want to hover. So I got this one, and everything is push button. Everything. Yep. Like you can't. It doesn't fly unless you hit a fucking button.
Fucking ice cream truck coming up this road, so I'm gonna mute myself so it doesn't annoy the shit out of you.
You mean because you're gonna walk up to it?
Stupid ass loud, and you just, like, my driveway is only 12 feet.
Later, I have an idea, and when you get back to that, because I know exactly what. I don't need a beer. I know exactly what it can be. Okay, yeah, and I hate saying this, but multi-tom-tom is right. Let's get back to the government thing. I wanted to talk about it.
Come on. Trucks are cool, man.
Yeah, because you're playing with them, asshole. My batteries are charging those. I would too.
I just spent 3 weeks learning how to rust Lexan. Okay.
I don't even Gesundheit.
What?
For my new scale truck, I wanted the body to have a rusted look, so I spent 3 weeks figuring out how to make plastic rust.
I'm getting back into that.
Baking? Woo!
I went to a Hobby Lobby and I found iron paint that comes with an acid. Well, I painted the whole outside of the body with that, and then you spray the acid on it, and it'll oxidize it in about 15 minutes, and then wipe it all down and paint over the top of that.
Hey, look what I got here, Crash. I bet you know what this is.
Ah, fuck.
It's my brother's. That's not mine. I don't really do video games. I'm supposed to do a conversion to HDMI. You can believe that. To what?
I just got the new Hobby Wing axe system for my truck to deliver today.
All right.
Oh yeah, 100 amps continuous, 360 amps peak on the ESC.
Yeah, I'm supposed to put this HDMI module on the Nintendo 64. So you have
drones. You guys know there's a lot of drones above us right now, right?
Yep.
Oh, don't start that.
No, like real drones. Like real drones.
Oh yeah.
You mean
What
like
drones?
government drones?
Government drones.
There was a June bug
NASA
on the
drone.
windowsill. Does that count?
The what?
The fucked part is they still run on 5.8, so you can track them with certain apps.
Wait, what are you talking? What? I'm talking about.
There was a June bug on the windowsill. Does that count as a drone?
Yeah.
Does it?
Absolutely.
No, when I say drones, I'm talking these drones.
I got to figure out how to make my cell phone work on this.
Oh, those drones. Yeah, those are not really flying over us, dude.
On these channels.
Wait, whoa. What did you say?
I said those are not really flying over us.
No, they are. Why wouldn't they?
Why would they? Please elaborate.
Reconnaissance, surveillance, or what do you call them? Scientific studies. You name it, man. They have them for everything now. And just so you know,
Cool.
the FAA says that there's about 2,500 drone missions per day from various agencies that have them. This one is the one that flies the most.
Pretty cool, man.
They're using this one. They believe it or not, they actually use these to fly through hurricanes now.
Oh yeah, that shoot might as well instead of sending people over there.
Oh no,
I don't blame them.
They still do. They still send people for some reason. I don't even understand why, but they do.
Well, they need to put flat earthers in those planes.
Yeah, maybe we'll see something. I think we all had different reasons. But here's the thing, because just like when we were just talking with Matrix about the government and everything, it's always. I mean, here's the reason why conspiracies are conspiracies, right? Because there is some validity to something in that. You know, none of these things are just made up and become these conspiracies. I mean, flat Earth. Somebody heard the Columbus story and ran with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think. Did you know that the fidget spinners are actually put in by the government?
What the fuck are fidget spinners for? I bought my son about 50 of them by now. What do they do? What is it?
For ADHD.
The pattern of the spin, it triggers certain parts of the brain. And at this point, I have a lot of people on the edge of the seat, but I'm just bullcrapping.
I knew that wasn't true from the second you said it, because that's what my son does to piss me off. Yeah, but it's crazy because one of the things you got to remember about these drones, the problem I have with it is we don't see them, for one, because we're oblivious, and they can do anything with them. Like, one of the big things that's going on right now, and a lot of people don't know it, is that right now SWAT teams, police academies with the crowd unit agency, you know, ones that disperse for those large events of people running the streets and shit. They're trying to get legislation to pass a law that says they can have weapons on their drones. When I say weapons, there's sound. I know they use, for a fact, they use sound weapons now with like the frequencies for crowd control. There's a few agencies that are using them for those the nets with the little ballots on them, the little balls on them, so they shoot them out. They used to shoot them out like out of a mini cannon, and this thing will pretty much stop someone from running, stop someone from coming at you. It's like a net, but it has these balls around it that make it so it closes up on the person, just like in cartoons. But they have them. I don't know.
Like this?
Yes, but like they're usually like solid rubber ball, like a racquetball but solid. And they use those, and I know they were using those in a couple situations. I think New Orleans, somewhere of that area. But a lot of places are trying to
Jose.
Wi-Fi, damn it.
What's up, sir?
Hey, Jose,
I'm Joseing it today. I'm on Wi-Fi.
Nice. Yeah, something is going on. It's kind of going on and off, and I'm looking, and everything is off in the house, so I cannot holler and like, hey, reset your router or something. So it is what it is.
And don't think I it slipped my mind, but don't think I forgot. I'm gonna send that to you still.
Cool, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Jose's in here.
Boom.
As long as there's not two fishes.
No, I'm good. I sent the link to Fish. He might join from the phone or whatever.
Yeah, but like I was saying, every conspiracy, it does have something in it. A lot of people do take it too far, and that really fucks it up. I wish people realize that more.
Wouldn't that apply to the saying that every good lie has a little bit of truth in it? So
that's also where that whole they have to tell us. Remember how they say that too? The Illuminati, for some reason, they have to tell us what they're doing, but not not be obvious about it. But they have to for some reason tell why. If they're that bad,
get us to agree to it.
Yeah, but they're not telling us. They say it. They're like they tell us, but they're not telling us.
Telling us why?
I don't know, Channel. That's what they say. I didn't say that when I was a flat earther though, so I don't know why they say it. Really, it's one of the, like Matrix came on, and the first thing out of his mouth was sovereign citizens. Sovereign citizens. He hears a bit and piece about fucking the 14th Amendment. Obviously hadn't read it. And literally it's exactly that. He read what we read. If you try to flip it and make it sound all bad, that's where he came out of it. But he came at us with like really simple, basic, not even conspiracy shit. IRS, bad. We know. I don't think anyone here thinks IRS is cool.
Maybe those who work for the IRS.
It's unconstitutional to tax indivial
You know see my solar fidget spinner?
What?
There's nothing in the Constitution, though.
You have kids, right?
That prevents income tax. I've heard the argument, but what do you think about it? I mean,
I thought it was supposed to apply to corporations, not individual persons' earned wages.
I don't think it really talks about either one, does it? That I know of.
Well, I don't really know because I'm just talking about some stupid video I watched on YouTube that I saw where it showed me in the Constitution. Ow, my cat's biting me. Where it showed me in the Constitution that it says that taxes are to be applied, but I don't know if it's real because I didn't really research it, to like corporations, that they were invented for corporations and it's unconstitutional to tax an individual citizen's freaking earned wages or some shit. I could research it, but I don't really believe in it.
Yeah. If that were true, you would. I mean,
at best, I would say they can't, or the fear would be them changing the rate to their whim, maybe.
Yeah, we just had a tax hike here in my state. It kicked in on the 1st of the month.
But see, I think here in California, we're at a point now where they're caught up in all that all their taxes, actually catching up to them, because now it literally is impossible to live comfortably in San Diego by yourself. I mean, you need two incomes, and what's happened now is you're getting these fucking homes that are way too expensive for what they are. Cars are getting too expensive. Taxes are going up, all the nine. So less people are able to live. So what do they do? They up minimum wage. Minimum wage by next year will be $17.50 here in California.
Fuck.
Here's the problem.
Still $10 an hour here.
No. Here's the problem. Someone who makes 25 or 30 as a professional doing something, they don't get that. They don't get an incentive where their pay goes up. No. There's a reason that skilled trade gets paid the way a skilled trade gets. And the closer minimum wage gets to that, sorry,
the less incentive there is.
Yeah. And that's a big problem, because what's happening is because now the minimum wages are so expensive, what a company would love to do, this is like the ideal thing to happen, doesn't always happen. You want an employee who is a journeyman, someone who knows in and out, doesn't need to ever be told what to do. Yeah. And then a few apprentices, basically, and your company starts building from there. That's the perfect world, obviously, but now companies aren't hiring the journeyman anymore. They're hiring.
You see my camera, bro? You see my camera?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see it, Matrix.
All right. One of them is my 1789 Bill of Rights. One of them is my U.S. Constitution, and one of them is my Declaration of Independence. See, I don't just talk out of my ass, bro. Okay, I don't appreciate it being told that I talk out of my ass.
Show me sovereign citizen, that stuff you were talking. Show me anything you were saying in those three things, because I don't know why you just showed us that.
The problem is that's an entire layer of information that you're not astute to. So maybe do some research and figure it out.
You're assuming, because we just got done doing 30 minutes of make you realize what you're talking about. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. And now you're telling me I need to go to research.
I think you're the only one confused in the topic, bro. I was never confused in that situation.
Is the 14th Amendment have anything to do with screwing people over for their money? Because you came here with that argument. You know that, right? You came here with the argument that sovereign citizens are legit.
I never talked about sovereign citizens. As a matter of fact, I said that
you said they're bad word, but you also said
it doesn't exist.
It's like chemtrails.
Sovereign citizen is an invention.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but here's the problem.
Here's the one I was talking about.
You did say that none of them, that the whole idea of not living under a government's rule is something here in the United States. You did say that.
Shawn, we're talking about a group of people, or however they want to be called, that are law-abiding, God-fearing people. We're not just talking about whatever you want to attach the word sovereign citizen to. We're talking about people that have a covenant with God. Right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're out of your league over here right now.
That these people, there are people that don't have to be citizens or consider themselves citizens of the United States. You said that they don't have to abide by the laws because they're I guess they're their own people. And that's where the whole sovereign people came up. But yeah, that you're right. That's like chemtrails. It fucks up the reality of it. But here's the thing. Again, I'll say it again. There is nobody who claims anything and is not having to pay taxes or care about law. And if
let's agree to disagree, bro.
No. If I'm showing you how it works. Show me different.
It's kind of like truth, bro. You can't really show somebody. You just kind of have to explain it to them or give them enough guidance.
That's not true. Not true at all. If it's truth, you should be able to explain it. If it's not truth or you don't know, it really is clear when you're half-assing explaining it.
How would I not know, and then I would be the one bringing up the topic?
Because you think you know.
Cool, man. Let's just agree to disagree, bro.
No. It's 100% because you think you know. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You think you know, but I've shown you were wrong. But you're not willing to accept that.
You give me an opinion on something that you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, tell me what the 14th Amendment is.
Shawn, let's agree to disagree.
No. You just got done telling us what the 14th Amendment was. So what is it? Go ahead and Google search that. Because I know you didn't say anything that the Google search is going to say. Because Blue here read it to you, and it was nothing like you said. It was actually to protect people from getting robbed every 5 seconds for all their gold.
Can you explain to me what the national debt is and how it works?
Are you serious right now? You want me to? We foreign aid. What do you call it? The fuck. The money we've borrowed from other countries.
But wait, Shawn, don't we make the money?
No. See, just because we make money doesn't mean no one else makes money. You understand that China owns more property combined in the United States than pretty much everyone else.
Probably they're creditors, but okay.
What? No. They're dude. You know when the whole housing, the housing market crashed? The second that happened, China started buying up everything they can. You know that, right? You do realize that we get taxed. We tax that, but we don't make what we could have made if, say, someone from here had bought it or developed it or put all that money to invest into something. You realize that, right? The money that they make at that place they'll pay the taxes, but then all that money ends up in China, not here. It's kind of the same thing with legal immigration. The money that's made here doesn't get spent here. That's why we're in debt. Part of. But that's a big part. Now, you go ahead and explain to me, the national debt then. Or should I just go research it?
Nah, you're not going to find these answers in Google, bro.
Okay, I can't wait for your answers. Go ahead.
All right, as far as I understand it, what the national debt actually is debtors not fixing their books in the IRS. See what it is? What the IRS is supposed to be, the IRS is supposed to do and what they're actually doing are two different things. See, we're not supposed to pay the IRS. The IRS is supposed to pay us, right? Because we're not supposed to have
the IRS the IRS checks the work we do to make sure it's all up, and then we get money back off the taxes. We get a percentage back.
Just do your research on what the IRS is.
I own a company. I know how it fucking works. Go ahead.
You don't know nothing, Shawn.
Yeah.
You have an idea, a concept of something, but you have no understanding of what I'm talking about.
Well, then keep explaining so I can get an understanding.
All right. For these things to be true, what you're saying,
no. Government. I want to hear what you know.
You can't keep interrupting me every 2 seconds. How am I going to explain myself?
You're right.
For these things to be true, they have to be government. They have to be government agencies, right? When you look up the IRS, you will realize that they are not government. They're not government. They are a company sanctioned by Congress. Right?
Yeah,
that's as far as I can understand.
By the government. I've said that already.
By Congress.
Are they government?
No, Congress is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Congress is the government who contracts the IRS to do the debt or the taxes. You understand that?
Which doesn't make them government.
Holy shit.
Do you not understand that?
You're trying to say that the IRS is not part of the government?
No, it isn't.
Really?
Look it up.
I intend to. Where would I find that?
They scared the shit out of us.
You said you can't Google search this stuff.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hey guys, could I read something?
Yep.
It's gonna take a minute, all right? So this is in lieu of what we're talking about, 16th Amendment. It has been argued that the imposition of the U.S. federal income tax is illegal because the 16th Amendment, which grants Congress the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration, was not properly ratified, or that the amendment provides no power to tax income from labor. proper ratification of the 16th Amendment is disputed by tax protesters who argue that the quoted text of the amendment differed from the text proposed by Congress, or that Ohio was not a state during ratification. 16th Amendment ratification arguments have been rejected in every court case where they have been raised and have been identified as legally frivolous. And I'm not done. Some protesters have argued that because the 16th Amendment does not contain the words repeal or repealed, the amendment is ineffective to change the law. Others argue that due to language in Stanton versus Baltic Mining Company, the income tax is an unconditional direct tax that should be apportionated, divided equally amongst the population of the various states. Several tax protesters assert that the Congress has no constitutional power to tax labor or income from labor. Citing a variety of court cases, these arguments include claims that the word income is used in the 16th Amendment cannot be interpreted as applying to wages, that wages are not income because labor is exchanged for them. The taxing wages violates individuals' right to property, and several others. 17th Amendment. An argument was raised in the case of, and I don't know, Tromovich versus Commissioner, is that the 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution was not properly ratified, and that all laws passed by Congress since the year 1919, which was not the year of the ratification, are invalid. The Tromovich case was involved a criminal contempt charge against the taxpayer in connection with a failure to obey a subpoena to produce books and records needed for the trial of the case. The United States tax court stated the taxpayer's petition in this case, while rambling and lengthy, appears to rely primarily on arguments that neither the Internal Revenue Service nor this court has authority to determine petitioner's tax liability because the 17th Amendment to the Constitution, which charged the method of electing senators to the U.S. Congress, was improperly proposed and or adopted, and therefore all laws enacted by Congress and the Senate subsequent to the least 1919 are invalid. This included the Internal Revenue Code and the legislation which established this court. The court rejected the taxpayer's argument and ordered that he be imprisoned for 30 days as punishment for criminal contempt in failing to obey court orders or subpoenas. And now I'm done.
That and I've heard of that. That what it was explained to me, this is actually a conversation I had with my brother, is based on states with lots of work versus states with little work there compared, I guess. Meaning the states don't make the same amount. The F up of it is now, for instance, California, which was booming during that time compared to other places, jumped the gun. And now that's why it's so damn expensive to live here. Whereas in the states with less work at the time, or wasn't booming, didn't have the same revenue coming in. And remember, so you pay federal taxes, but it's regulated through the state as well. So the states say what the minimum wages have to be, and the federal government agrees because they want their money. But the reality of it is times have changed, and now it's different. Because then it was about, well, why is California making that much? And how? I mean, us and Utah ain't making shit. That's why it's the wording of it is so particular about that, and why it's not going to ever really amount to anything, because it's literally a he has, I don't argument, which is, I guess, fair, but at the same time tough. I guess you would say. But that's that's for how
I agree that income does not mean the same thing as wages.
That's right.
No, yeah, you're right.
And that's the argument. And in many states, and for a long time, you wouldn't be taxed on the labor portion of a bill for repairing your car, for instance, because labor wasn't taxable. Kind of falls under that same heading.
It's a money thing.
Yeah, I think some places are still like they got to charge you tax and labor separate.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is definitely. It's always separate. That's why, as like for anyone who does car stuff, you know exactly how that works because it's you always look at how much is the part, and then you guesstimate how much will the fucking labor be.
Is that because they're already being taxed for their labor?
Because you know it's going to be a hefty.
The argument is double taxation.
Well,
I don't know. At least I found a good reference.
But at the same time, doesn't that keep companies from just making the parts extremely expensive?
Well, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the company one way or the other.
Yeah,
it's a pass through. The consumer ends up paying it no matter what.
Well, that's where the greed part starts coming in, because then you start talking about I don't know how it is for you guys, but registration here. I want to see some freaking yellow brick roads made out of real fucking gold with the fucking registration they're getting here in California. Damn. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today. It's like, because especially for me, and I know there are people out there that are like, our government is wonderful. I'm definitely not. and what really sucks is, as you know, quote unquote, a glober, suddenly I trust my government all to pieces. And that's the reality of it. And trust me, this is the whole point of this whole conversation. And I thought about this and was like, you're going to say this later on in the conversation, and it's going to look cool. So the way it works is science, knowledge, wanting to know have nothing to do with our corrupt government. Now, there are things that they do or are involved with that, you know, they have to cross paths, but that's not science. That's the scientists. That's the universities or the labs or whatever. That making sense? That makes sense?
Yeah.
So it's to understand, for instance, or start to gather an understanding as much as you can of, say, gravity as a force. Gravity not as a force. So acceleration, you know, hey, hopefully I'll get that way and I'll stop saying it's a force, Riley. But guess what? If I'm going to use gravity, if I'm trying to figure shit out with gravity, I have to use it as a force, no matter what. And if it can't, I'm not even trying. This is the reality of it.
Because it's a force. It's a force.
It is a force. It's a fictitious.
It can't be anything else.
It's a fictitious
force.
And that's my favorite part. It's a fictitious force, but this doesn't mean it's a unicorn fart. That just means you can't see it. You can't touch it. That's all that means. Again, terminology.
Where did Matrix go? Did you guys piss him off?
He said he had to take off.
Oh,
I didn't see him in the chat after that, so I'm pretty sure he had to go. He does that every once in a while. I hope he didn't think I was being personal about it, but reality.
Well, I really wanted to go over something with him because he started all that stuff about not going back to the moon, not having the technology, this and that.
Yeah, he took some digs.
And I wanted, and he talked about, he was talking about building balls and stuff. And I started down one path and got interrupted, but I really wanted to explain it to him this way. So the next time you talk to him, ask him this: can he build me a brand new shovel head motor for a Harley? And the answer is yeah, you could. But I mean, I want the thing authentic. I want the cylinder head, the cylinder, the crankcase, everything. I want it all built exactly the way it was originally. Can you do that? Well, yeah. Would it cost a fortune? Oh, fuck yeah.
I know that.
2 or 3 fortunes.
Yeah, a good friend of mine.
Same thing with the Apollo stuff. Yeah, could we do it again? Sure, we could. Would it cost 2 times, 3 times, 10 times what it costs to do it with today's technology? You bet your ass it would.
The problem is that if we started going frequently, it's like, why are we going? We already went. If we don't go, why aren't we going? We done it before. It just, you never win.
Well, the reality of it is trust me, NASA is the happiest fanboys on the planet right now, thanks to SpaceX. They are, trust me, they don't want to spend all that money doing that shit. And here's the other thing. That wonderful $59 million a day total you guys keep doing, Yeah, and remember this too, guys. That money doesn't go to NASA. That money goes to space agencies. There's like a lot of them.
That money goes right back into the U.S. economy. That money gets paid to employees of NASA or their subcontractors.
Money here.
And they spend it in our own fucking economy. Excuse me.
Yeah, again, Matrix. Remember this.
It's not like we ship it off to Japan or send it to Russia. Jesus Christ, it stays right here in the country.
And the problem is with that with the whole Chinese coming and buying as much land and properties as they can. That's one of the reasons we're in debt, because the money isn't getting spent here. They're making on that. They pay taxes, but that money is going back to China. That's one of the big issues.
Well, and only a fraction of the money that NASA spends each year goes to the space program part of it. NASA does a lot of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're involved in all kinds of things.
I don't know the exact number.
Just building rocket ships, for God's sakes.
I want to say there's at least 40 different known agencies like that are out there doing big research projects, and then all the small agencies among them. That's where that money that you guys keep saying, it goes to all of them. It doesn't just go to one. If it did, then I'd want them to be. We should be at like Neptune by now. If that was the case, shit.
Well, that entire goddamn GPS system that we all rely on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute basis has to be taken care of by somebody. Guess who that somebody is? NASA.
Yep, not anyone from Burger King. Specialists.
Correct, sir.
Yep. And nothing wrong with working at Burger King. I just don't want you to find my rockets. Thank you.
Burger King's okay in an emergency.
Is that Burger King?
Carl's Jr.
I'm Carlos.
I'm hungry now. Thanks, Carlos.
And it's Hungry Jack's, not Burger King.
And that's why I freaking shaped like a oblate spheroid. Freaking McDonald's, Burger King.
Hungry Jack's.
The McRib or the two Big Macs.
What are you doing, Carlos?
Do what?
I said, what are you doing?
You got a lot of background noise.
Oh, sorry.
He's in the dryer.
I was going to say, sounds like
flying a
drone
drone
or the dryer.
I'm trying to dehydrate.
I can teach you how to do that.
You guys know there's no more pulling force, so you can't go on the clothesline.
Oh, I just remembered. I wanted to show you guys that project I was working on. For Riley's ass. Great.
Yeah, there's no such thing as pulling. It's just pushing.
Yep, pretty much.
The peak gravity.
Oh my God, the Peter Storkus.
I hope I you know what really pissed? I know I'm just repeating myself, but I have defended that dumb fuck so many goddamn times. No one wanted him ranting on here every day, and I let him. And he got mad because some fucking kid outwitted him.
Self-inflicted pain, Sean.
That's some funny shit. It makes me laugh. It's like,
Shut your
damn.
mouth, shut your mouth.
It's just insane. It's like, just stop. Like, if I read you guys the comments, it's literally like he's arguing like a real point, and everything he says is, I don't want to be there for that kid to do that shit to me again. Oh well. Bye. Yeah, it's fucking, I can't. People irritate me.
My boss irritated me today at work. That was real fun.
Yeah, when my boss would get mad at me or fire me, I'd cuss him out, and then I'd cuss him out again when he got home. And then I go to work the next day. It was wonderful.
So I was going to go ahead and share that interesting experience with y'all that I had today at work.
Huh? Yes.
About 5 minutes before my break, the yard foreman calls us into one of the hoop houses. The director of the site's there, and he's handing out these little red things. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I asked him, hey, what's this? He goes, it's an Asian sweet chili. It's got a really sweet flavor to it. We just grew it here at the facility. And I was like, oh, cool. And my dumb ass didn't really pay attention to the thing I'm holding in my hand, because I knew what it was, but I didn't recognize it right off the bat. And I just ate the whole damn thing all in one shot. I was like, oh, it is sweet. And then after I swallowed it a second later, this tremendous force of burning kicked in, and I started coughing and having a hard time breathing. And my coworker looks at me. He's like, "Hey, I hope you enjoy that ghost pepper." As he took off.
Yes.
Across.
I got paid. I was my second year in construction. I was like really like for a company. I think I had been about 15, and one of the foremen on the job site was a real good friend of my dad's, so he was real cool. Well, he offered me some money up front. He said, "I'll give you $700 if you'll eat 2 peppers." I love hot shit. Hell yeah. Same thing. You have to put them in your mouth and eat them. Okay. I had no idea these things called ghost peppers existed. So I did it. I'll say it was easy. Chewing it, swallowing it was all easy. But about 3 seconds after the last get it down my throat, this entity was in my stomach. And you guys seen Spaceballs?
Yes.
That happened. But that wasn't the problem. Honest to God, it wasn't even that bad. I had a whole method to doing it. Only a part of my tongue really was involved. It sucked. But here's what really was the problem. He put those peppers, one in each hand. So when you start sweating and crying, what do?
You rub your eyes.
Yes, I rubbed my face. And I will tell you, the feeling I got when it burned on the inside of my eyelids was far worse than ever being doused with diesel fuel. And trust me, that's not a fun one either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I've hydraulic fluid. That's my favorite one. I've been my first time changing hydraulic tank on a dozer. I didn't let it cool down, and I opened the tank very quickly. We'll say that I spent 7 hours, 3/4 of the way drenched in hydraulic fluid, which was very, very hot when it happened. But you do learn your lessons, and I've never done it since.
You guys are pussies. They're not even the hot ones. The bloody Scorpion and Carolina
you
peppers,
live
they're
in
the hot ones.
Australia. Fuck you.
Man.
First of all, you eat pizza with cabbage. Bad.
Cabbage.
It's second of all, you live in a place where the most dangerous animal on the planet you can't even see.
What's your point?
Everything can kill you there. The worst part is, even the nicest, cutest ones, koala bears, they're not safe.
They're not nice. They're
I'm saying, man, you better put a Jimmy on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they'll rip you apart.
How the hell?
Look at you.
Seriously, how do animals have human STDs, dude? That's saying a lot.
I could throw out a conspiracy there. But
I think I just started one. Oh, I wanted to remind everyone, for anyone who didn't hear the contest from earlier, where here Carlos is a wonderful example. I'm having a rumpus contest. My first contest, my first giveaway. I don't even know what I'm giving away yet. But I want your best rumpus picture like Carlos here has done. The best one? Get something. I don't know. Something. You can either send me it here. 1 second. You can send this here to this link, which is my YouTube messages, or this one, which is my